Yo, yo, what's up? What's up, everyone? What's up? What's up? How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Welcome to Hollywood Horror Film Club. My name is Frank. Today's Horror Sundays, episode 59. Yo, my hair is all messed up. Yeah, but today's episode 59. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel if you're a fan of horror movies and all that good stuff. Let's see what we got here so far. Mac says, what up, Franklin? I read AO3 Has-Been Hotel. Awesome, bro. That sounds cool. That sounds awesome, man. How was your weekend? Oh, shit, my bad. Mackie says, nice room. Thank you so much, Mac. Thank you so much, Mac. My bad. I called you Mackie. Mac. It's Mac. Guys, remember, it's Mac, okay? Apple Ricky says, hey, what's up, Apple Ricky? How you doing? How you doing this weekend? How are you doing? Mac says, hello. How you doing, Mac? Like I said, how you doing, bro? Glad to see you here. Glad to see everyone here. Let's keep smashing the thumbs up, everyone. Twisted Emo says, hey, did you see the post I made that I tagged you in? It's just photos of my room. Yeah, I think I saw it. I think I did see it. I think I liked it. Yeah, I did see it. It was a little while ago, right? Max says, I am a subscriber. Awesome, Mac. Thank you so much. Apple says, I'm good watching the Muppets Christmas and want to know something. What? What's up, Apple? What's going on? What is going on? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. What is up? Max says, guys, I'm 15 years old and I'm younger boy. Yeah, everyone. Everyone, remember, Mac is a younger kid, so, you know, be respectful. Apple Ricky says, Apple Ricky retracted her message. Why, Apple Ricky? I was just about to read it. Apple Ricky, why would you do such a thing? Dang it. I'm going to have to use this probably. Mac says, I'm from Philippines. Awesome, Mac. Awesome. Hello. Hello to you from Los Angeles, California. I'm from Los Angeles in the United States. Hello. I hope you're doing well, Mac. Apareki says, when I was little, I used to be afraid of the Muppets. I could see why. Some of them look kind of unsettling, right? Like the Oscar the Grouch. He looks kind of scary. I forgot, what's his name? Gonzo? Gonzo looks pretty freaky with that big nose. Also Big Bird as well. Yeah, so I get what you mean, Apple Ricky. Apple Ricky says, Mac, we're the same age. Yep, you and Apple Ricky are the same age. So y'all got to keep it respectful for the kids here. Y'all got to keep it respectful for the kids here and keep it movies. Strictly movies. Strictly movies and TV shows, okay? Strictly movies and TV shows. Let me see. Dang it, I got to connect this phone to the internet. Yeah, we're going to get into some horror movie news right now in a bit. Let me just say what's up to everyone. Usually when I start the show, I always say hi to everyone first, and then that's when I start getting into the movie news and all that stuff. Max says, what do you mean same age? Apple Ricky's like 14 as well, and you're like 14 as well, right? Or 15. It's the little things. Harold and Kumar. Hell yeah, Harold and Kumar. Harold, it's the little things. Harold and Kumar. Have you seen that movie? I haven't seen that movie in a while. Yeah, but it's one of those early 2000s rom-com movies, rom-com comedy movies. Yeah, that's a good movie. Yeah, it's the little things. Glad to see you here. Awesome, man. Hell yeah. How was your weekend? It's the little things says, what's up, dog? How you doing, little things? How you doing? Glad to see you here. I just said what's up. And yeah, thank you for reminding me of Harold and Kumar. I haven't seen that movie in a while, yo. In a long while, actually. Let me see. Twisted Emo says, I got a Leatherface mask from Party City with the header tag still attached. Awesome, Twisted Emo. Awesome. It's the little things says, what's up, dog? How you doing, Twisted Emo? Glad to see you here. I mean, it's the little things. Apple Ricky says, imagine Big Bird and Snuffle Pegasus, a dirty tape. That would be weird, Apple Ricky says. It's the little thing says comedy movie. Yeah, I said rom-com. I'm a dork, right? I said rom-com. Apple Ricky says, or Cookie Monsters. Yeah, Cookie was weird. Cookie Monster was weird, too. Hey, Twisted Emo, you want to see my Leatherface mask? Twisted Emo, so you said, I got a Leatherface mask from Party City with the header tag still attached. Is it like this? Is it like this one? Twisted Emo, is it like this one? Let me know in the chat. Twisted Emo says, hey, I'm also 15, by the way. Twisted Emo says, yep, this is my favorite Leatherface mask. This is my favorite look of Leatherface. This is my favorite look of Leatherface. I don't think you see this look a lot in the movie, do you? Oh yeah, you do towards the end when he's wearing the suit, but he's mostly wearing the apron and the collared shirt. I think this is just towards more the end of the movie, but yeah, it's a great mask. Eventually, I want to make a Texas Chainsaw fan film. Eventually, eventually. All that stuff is work, though. All that stuff is hard work. But yeah, let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. Twisted Nemo says, yep, yeah, I got the same one. Apple Ricky says, imagine Cookie Monster doing it with cookies. That'll be weird, Apple Ricky. That'll be really weird. Bob the Knob says, have you ever been to a Diddy party before? Nope. Nope. I don't know Diddy. I'm not rich or famous, so I wouldn't get no invite there. Only elite, famous, rich people could go to that. So nope. Never been to one. Bob says, I'm trying to get an invite. Yeah, this guy. Well, I think it's too late for that, bro. I think it's too late for that unless you look for someone that's not famous, that's throwing those kind of style parties, then I guess go for it. But yeah. Apareki says, I bet they're extra crispy if you... I bet they're extra crispy if you know what I mean, and white frosting. Okay, I'm done watching the Muppets. That's why, dude, Apple Ricky, you're crazy. Bob the Knob says, was trying to get someone to vouch for me. Oh, man, that's crazy, Bob. That's crazy, man. Please smash the thumbs up. Yeah, Bob? Get us up to 18, man, please. Get us up to 18, Bob the Knob. So more people could join us here on the channel. Please, Bob the Knob. But yeah, that's crazy, Apple Ricky. That's crazy that you said that. Why would you say that? That's funny. How was everyone's weekend today? Let me know in the chat right there. How was everyone's weekend? How's everyone spending their Sunday today? Bob says, nah, man, you could get me an invite. I mean, I wouldn't know, bro. I'm not rich or famous or elite like that. You should try looking for some rappers. Yeah, try looking for some rappers, Bob the Knob. Try looking for some rappers. They're the ones you want to talk to. I don't think you want to talk to horror streamers that aren't even rich, you know? So yeah, you know what I mean, Bob the Knob? If you really want an invite to a Diddy party, I suggest you talk to some rappers, man. Those are the guys that'll get you into that stuff. Not poor streamers like me. Idol HUD 101 says, hey, mate, what's up, Idol HUD? What's up, Idol HUD 101? If you're new here to the channel, welcome to Hollywood Horror Film Club. Today is Horror Sundays, episode 59. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you're a horror fan. Smash the thumbs up, please, Idol HUD. Please, Idol HUD, smash the thumbs up. Get us up to 18 so more people could join us here on the live stream. We would thank you so much if you would smash. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, and yeah, what's up, Idol HUD? Like I said, my name's Frank. This is Hollywood Horror Film Club, Horror Sundays, episode 59. I'm about to start talking about some horror movie news right now in a bit. Just saying what's up to everyone. Usually when I start every live, I say what's up to everyone, you know, for like maybe 20 minutes and stuff. And then I start getting into some movie news. Idol HUD says, I got you, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Idol HUD. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, guys, give me a second before we start with the movie news. I'm going to go drop the link to this in my Instagram, all right? So if you want to follow me on Instagram, link down in the description of this live as well. I'll be back. We are back. We are back. All right, we are back. We are back. We are back. All right, we are back now. We are back. Yes. So yeah, we're about to start getting into some movie news right now in a bit. We're about to start getting into some movie news right now in a bit. How was everyone's weekend so far? How was everyone's weekend? How'd y'all spend your weekend? Let me know in the chat before we start. How did y'all spend your weekend? Where's settings on this phone, dude? This is annoying. I can't find settings on this. Can't find settings on this. It's so annoying. This is so annoying right here. I can't find the settings on this phone. Where is it at? Damn it, this sucks. I'm probably gonna have to wait with this one. All right, let me see. Where's my tablet, guys? We gotta get into some movie news. Hey, stop doing that to the bed. Move over there. We gotta get into some movie news right now. Stop scratching the bed. Go over there. Get off of the bed. All right, Apple Ricky says, I used to be afraid of Oscar the Grouch. Big Bird Snuffle. I can't pronounce that word too much. Snuffle, Pegasus, Animal, but the rest I love. That's awesome, Apariki. I was never really afraid of Muppets. They were never really scary to me. But I could see why some kids will be scared of them. I could see why some kids will be scared of them. They look interesting, to say the least. They look very interesting, right? But yeah, that's awesome. Wolf says, "What's good, Hollywood Horror Film Club? What's up, Wolf? How you doing? How you doing, Wolf? Glad to see you here on the channel." My bad. I always sneeze, dude. I got endless allergies. Yeah, but what's up, Wolf? Glad to see you here on the channel. Another episode of Horror Sundays. Today's episode 59. Please smash the thumbs up. Yeah, Wolf? Get us up to 19, Wolf, please. Please smash the thumbs up, Wolf. Get us up to 19 so more people could join us here on the chat. I was about to start getting into some horror movie news. Damn, dude, I hate sneezing. I always sneeze a lot. But yeah, man, please smash the thumbs up. Yeah, we got it. Yeah, and I was about to start getting into some horror movie news as well, like I said. Should I get... What movie news should I get into first? The Five Nights at Freddy's 3? There's rumors already of Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Ghost Rider says, the Spirit of Vengeance. Yo, what's up, man? What's up? How you doing, Ghost Rider, the Spirit of Vengeance? Glad to see you here on the chat, man. Glad to see you here on the chat. Yeah, so yeah, I took the knife. I took the knife to send it on Saturday, but I think I went late and they said the post office wasn't taking stuff anymore on Saturday at a certain time. So I have to go tomorrow. I have to go tomorrow, Ghost Rider, on Monday. I went kind of late to the post office to drop off the box, and yeah, I said I had to ship it until Monday. Yeah, but expect that package, man. Expect that package, Ghost Rider. And hey, Ghost Rider, can you please smash the thumbs up right there? Get us up to 20, please, Ghost Rider, so more people could join us here in the chat. Ghost Rider says, laughing my ass off. It's all right. It happened to me lots of times. Yeah, dude, it's because I had barely moved. Look, I barely moved to a new spot. And then I was here on Friday the whole morning cleaning up and setting up the room still because I still had a lot of boxes to unpack. And then I finished by like 2-ish, 2:30. And then I told my brother to rush me to the post office with the package. But when I got there was like this mean old lady right there behind the counter. And I was like, yeah, I want to send this package. She was like giving me attitude too. And she was like, no, well, too late already. After a certain time, she said you can't come. You have to wait until Monday now. I was like, whack, you know? But yeah, man, it's all good though. Expect that package. Thank you for understanding, Ghost Rider. Hell yeah, that knife's gonna look sick with my new mask though. I kind of want to make a new Halloween 78 fan film. I kind of want to make a new Halloween 78 fan film, but one that takes place in the daytime. Because most of the Halloween fan films are at nighttime. I want to explore what Michael did during the day after he stopped stalking Lori, Annie, and Linda. I want to know who else he stalked. He probably could have, took out more people that we don't know of. So I definitely do want that knife for that fan film, man. Hell yeah. Thank you so much for smashing the thumbs up, Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance. We have so many Ghost Riders here on this channel. There's another Ghost Rider also that comes here as well. I think he's like a younger kid though, I think. Yeah, he's cool too. He just hasn't been here in a while. It's all good though. There's a lot of Ghost Riders here though. Aporeki says, getting my Christmas money saved up to buy this spring Bonnie suit. I'll try to get the film out to you as soon as possible. Awesome, Aporeki. Awesome. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. Are you going to be uploading it to your channel? Aporeki, are you going to be uploading it to your channel on YouTube? Your Five Nights at Freddy fan film? My bad, dude. My voice is kind of strained. Max says, I have a session with my psychiatrist at my home. That's awesome, man. Cool. Have a good time. If you have to go, it's all good. No worries. Poriki says, of course I am. That's awesome. That's awesome. Can't wait to see it. By when do you think your fan film will come out, Poriki? When do you estimate? Ghost Rider says, I'd like to see how he killed those people on the highway in the red truck and how it went when he robbed the Halloween store and when he was doing inside the abandoned house. Yeah, that would be cool, right? That would be that would be kind of hard to replicate though, but I think I could pull it off. Probably the highway, him killing the Phelps Garage mechanic guy. I could probably pull that off without having to show the truck, you know? Him inside the abandoned house, we could probably pull that off, but I would have to find an abandoned house, you know? I would have to find an abandoned house with a layout similar, then it's gonna be hard for that. It's gonna be really hard for that. The Halloween store, we could probably pull off the Halloween store scene. Yeah, we could probably pull that off. We would have to find a room or decorate a room to look like a store with shelves and stuff like that, and just shoot it in a way where we can make it look big inside, you know? But yeah, it's possible. It's possible. Yeah, Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance. Yeah, like I said, for a while, because we made another Halloween '78 fan film last summer in 2024. It came out like last July or last August, I think, or something. But yeah, we made that one. But that one was built that Halloween '78 fan film was based on the flashback scene from Halloween Kills, you know? And I made a mask that looked more like the flashback mask than the original '78 mask. But now I have a mask that I'm making to look just like a lot like the original '78 mask on the first Halloween by John Carpenter. And that's why I really want to make a '78 fan film that takes place during the day and see what Michael did during the day, you know, before nighttime hit, you know. Mac says, I'll be seeing you next week. That's okay, Mac. It's all good. Take care, Mac. Take care. Take care, Mac. Apple Ricky says, like around next year, I just got to get my crew the stuff and driver to drive to Chuck E. Cheese. That's awesome. That's awesome. So by like next fall, next holiday season, it should be out, right? Yeah, it takes time to make these movies sometimes, Apple Ricky. Even if they're just fan films, low budget YouTube fan films, it still takes time. And that preps you a lot for like when you work, eventually when you get work on a real movie set, you know? Like I was doing sound for another movie this past week, you know? And it was cool because even though I've only made fan films and low budget stuff, on set, you already know what to do. You know? You already know how to work, you know? So fan films and low budget films really help out to show you the ropes of what it's like to be on a movie set and what needs to be done and all that stuff, you know? So when you get to work on your actual first feature, you already know what to do with people really having to tell you what to do, you know? Because you've already had experience on low budget sets. Apple says, I'm excited for you guys to see the puppet. That's going to be awesome. It's going to be, hey, Apple how much money is going into this fan film? Sometimes in my fan films, like about like 200, but like $200 goes into them. Sometimes when I make mine, gotta get the blood or the ingredients to make blood. Gotta get the masks, costumes, prosthetics, you know, a makeup, and then you gotta go to the thrift store and get costumes and shoes, you know, and all that stuff. So yeah, like usually my fan films run me up about like 200 bucks, maybe around that, maybe 300, depending on like how accurate I want it to look to the real movie and the costumes. But yeah, Apple Ricky says, I'm not sure yet. That's awesome, though. That's awesome. I can't wait to see it, though. I can't wait to see it. All right, guys, so let's start getting into some movie news. So there's already talk of Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Five Nights at Freddy's 3, y'all. Five Nights at Freddy's 3 is already in the talks. Let's see what's going on with that. Let's see what's going on with that. Forbes, here on Forbes. Forbes is reporting, will there be a Five Nights at Freddy's 3? Wow, listen up, Apple Ricky, all you Five Nights at Freddy's fans. All you Five Nights at Freddy's fans, listen up. Will there be a Five Nights at Freddy's 3? Here's the encouraging news. Oh, encouraging, huh? Encouraging. Let's see what it says. So yeah, like I said, guys, Forbes.com is reporting, will there be a Five Nights at Freddy's 3? So let's see what it says. Five Nights. Let me just show you guys, you know, the art. You know, you got the Five Nights at Freddy's, Freddy Fazbear. Let me go right there. So yeah, let's see what it says. So Five Nights at Freddy's 2, Blumhouse Pictures sequel to the hit movie adaptation. The video game series is new in theaters. What are the chances of a third movie? Happening? The first Five Nights at Freddy's movie was released in 2023 and became a global smash The film earned 137.2 million domestically and nearly 160 million internationally for a worldwide box office total of 297.2 million against a $20 million budget before prints and advertising costs, according to the numbers. Damn, that's crazy. Directed by Emma Tammy, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 opened in theaters nationwide on Friday. The official synopsis for the film reads: 1 year has passed since the supernatural nightmare at a Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. The stories about what transpired there have been twisted into a campy local legend, inspiring the town's first ever Faz Fest. Former security guard Mike Josh Hutcherson and police officer Vanessa Elizabeth Laley have kept the truth from Mike's 11-year-old sister, Abby Piper Rubio, concerning the fate of her animatronic friends. But when Abby sneaks out to reconnect with Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, it will set into motion a terrifying series of events revealing dark secrets about the true origin of Freddy's, unleashing long-forgotten horror hidden away for decades. So that's crazy. Jason Blum and Matthew Lillard are game for another Five Nights at Freddy's movie. That's crazy. You guys hear that? Jason Blum and Matthew Lillard are game for another Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Well, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 earned a round 13% critic score and Rotten Tomatoes based on 78 reviews scores on the review aggregator mean very little to movie franchises and prospects of future installments. After all, the first Five Nights at Freddy's movie earned 33% Rotten Critics score based on 215 reviews, which clearly did nothing to prevent the sequel from going on into production. Instead, sequels are generally determined by how well a film does at the box office, and clearly ticket sales for the first Five Nights at Freddy's movie merited the second chapter in the movie franchise. As such, producer Jason Blum and star Matthew Lillard said during panel discussions at the 2025 San Diego Comic-Con, the ticket sales for the sequel will determine if there will be a Five Nights at Freddy's 3, and they're both game to do it. If it's a hit, they're going to make a third movie. And if they make a third movie, I get to kill Mike Schmidt. It's going to be cinematic magic, Lillard said. And during the panel via Screen Rant, referring to Mike's fate in the video game canon. In addition, Blum added during the San Diego Comic-Con panel via Screen Rant, if enough people go, we'd be very excited to make Five Nights at Freddy's 3. That's crazy. That is crazy. Apple says, do you think Skeet Ulrich will return as Henry Emily in the third Five Nights at Freddy's? Yes, he's saying he's down. Listen up, Apple Ricky. Jason Blum and Matthew Lillard saying they are down. Of course he's down. Of course he's down as well. What is it called? Let me see. Given the big reception of Five Nights at Freddy's 2 at the domestic box office, out of the gate, it appears that Blum and Lillard are already making their dreams of filming Five Nights at Freddy's 3 a reality. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is a project to open with 56.5 million in North America ticket sales this weekend after scoring 29.8 million on Friday, including Thursday previews. According to Deadline, the sequel had a production budget of 36 million before prints and advertising, the trade publication noted. Universal Pictures and Blumhouse Pictures clearly had aspirations for a third Five Nights at Freddy's film even before opening weekend, given the film has an end credits scene and post credits teaser via Game Radar that leaves a pair of plot lines open for potential second sequel. Rated PG-13, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is new in theaters. So there is going to be a Five Nights at Freddy's 3 pretty much. That pretty much solidifies it right there, that article. I'm pretty sure the movie made enough for them to want to make it, So I'm pretty sure it's going to happen regardless. And yeah, I did hear some news earlier today where Skeet Ulrich, Skeet Ulrich confirms he has a deal for and will return. So listen up, Apple Ricky. Movie news. Skeet Ulrich confirms he has a deal for and will return as Henry Emily in Five Nights at Freddy's 3 should it happen. So yeah, Apple Ricky, it says right here, look. It says right here, movie news. Skeet Ulrich confirms he has a deal for and will return as Henry Emily in Five Nights at Freddy's 3 should it happen. So yeah, he's definitely coming back. So is Lillard or Lillard, Matthew Lillard or Lillard, you know, however you say his name. But yeah, he's definitely coming back. He's definitely coming back. Definitely coming back. Apple Ricky says, if we get the crying child in the third Five Nights at Freddy's, then the blonde ghost boy would be Cassidy. Yeah, pretty much. Apple Ricky says, I'm hoping we get answers about Garrett in the third movie, Mike's brother that got kidnapped in the first film on a camping trip. Apple Ricky says, I hope they play Die in the Fire at the end credits. That would be cool. That would be cool. That would be cool, right? Yeah. And trip out though. I haven't seen the second Five Nights at Freddy's yet. I haven't had a chance to see it yet. I've been so busy with moving and stuff that damn, dude. And then I try to go see Silent Night, Deadly Night on Saturday, no, on Friday, and it wasn't even playing in my theater. It wasn't even playing in my theater. Silent Night, Deadly Night. It wasn't even playing in my local theater. I had to go to Burbank to watch it. And I was gonna watch Five Nights at Freddy's 2 instead, but the screening didn't start until 4 o'clock. And when I was at the theater, it was like 1 o'clock barely. Dude, so I was like, it's not worth it right now. I was like, not worth it. That's way too long. It was like 1 o'clock when I was at the theater. Like 4 hours, bro. I was gonna be at the mall and the theater for like 4 hours waiting for the movie to start. So I just came back home, dude, instead, you know? But yeah, I am gonna have to see those movies though eventually. See if I could go see Five Nights at Freddy's 2 sometime this week. Tomorrow, maybe, a Tuesday. Let me see. Wolf says, what's your most anticipated movie of 2026? Most anticipated movie of 2026? Scream 7, probably. Scream 7, probably, or if anything else. Let me see. And Scary Movie 6 as well. Scream 7 and Scary Movie 6 are my big anticipations of the year. Of next year. Scream 7 and Scary Movie 6, Wolf. Apple Ricky says, bro, you gotta go see it. I know, Apple Ricky, but the screening started way too late for me. I'm telling you, I was like at the theater at like 1 p.m. The screening didn't start until like 4. I was like, whack. But yeah, I know, I gotta see it. Apple Wolf says, you still didn't get to see Silent Night, Deadly Night? Nah. It wasn't playing at the theater that I went to. I usually go to AMC. And they always have the horror movies. They have Thanksgiving. They always have horror movies. But this year, they just were not good with the horror movies. And then Five Nights at Freddy's 2 started like at 4 o'clock, and I was there super early. They had a lot of kids movies this holiday season. SpongeBob movie, a lot of kids stuff. Yeah, and Silent Night, Deadly Night wasn't playing at my local AMC. I had to go to Burbank to see it. I was like, horrible, bro, horrible. Yeah, I really want to see it though. I will see it though. By my next stream on Wednesday, I would have already seen it. Watch. But when I go live this upcoming Wednesday, I have already seen Silent Night, Deadly Night, and Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Watch. Apple says, so at the end of the short film, Henry will be at the pizzeria and say a pretty sad message to Charlie. That's awesome, Apple. Don't spoil the movie, though. Don't spoil the fan film. Apple Ricky says, there's no way I'm seeing Avatar 3 hours. Hell no. Nah, bruh. I love James Cameron. I love his early work. But it's just, since 2009, I don't know. I just never been too fond of those new Avatar movies, you know? And back in 2009, when the first Avatar movie by Cameron came out, I had it confused with the Avatar, The Last Airbender. There was like 2 Avatar movies out at once, you know? So it was confusing. Like I said, I love James Cameron. I love his early work. I love Titanic. I love the Terminator movies. I love a few of his other films as well. But just the Avatar series, I was never able to get into it. Never. Since 2009, you know? Yeah, Apple Ricky says 2 hours, I'll do, but 3 hours, hell no. Nah, even that's another reason why I didn't go see Oppenheimer. It was like about 3 hours as well, I think, and it just seemed like a pretentious ass movie. Like it wasn't even about movies. It was just about like pretentious like set decorations and lights. It was all. Like I don't know. I don't know. To me, like Oppenheimer seemed like a really like pretentious vanity project. You know, like like I said, it wasn't even about the story. It was just about how cool they could shoot this movie. You know. Wolf says Oppenheimer is freaking awesome. I don't know, dude. I just like I love Christopher Nolan. I love his earlier work, but I just couldn't get into Oppenheimer, bro. We basically you learn about Oppenheimer in high school, you know? When you learn about World War II and all that stuff and the atom bomb and stuff like that, you know? But yeah, like no disrespect to the film. It's shot great. It looks nice. The cinematography is awesome, but it just seems pretentious. It just seems pretentious to me, the film, really pretentious. Or maybe it's because a lot of people, like I'm one of those people that doesn't really like something when it's popular, but I'll warm up to it once some time has passed and it's not really in the public conscious anymore. I'm one of those people. So like when something's brand new and popular, I kind of hate it, you know. But later on, once it's not popular, I'll warm up to it. But yeah, Wolf, yeah. Not to crap on the movie. Like I said, it looks great, the cinematography and all that. It's shot really nice, but I just couldn't get into it. Apareki said, I'm more of a horror guy, you know, and thriller and sci-fi and stuff like that. Apareki says, love Damien Leone, Scott Chambers, Stanley Kubrick, John Carpenter, Rob Zombie, Fritz Kirsch, my favorite directors. Yeah. They're all great. Yeah, all great. I love a lot of those directors as well. Damien Leone, Stanley Kubrick, Rob Zombie, James Cameron, John Carpenter, Wes Craven, Toby Hooper, Tim Burton, Christopher Nolan, Sam Raimi. I forget who else. Steven Spielberg, George Lucas. Who else? I forgot. Robert Zemeckis. I keep forgetting a lot. Marcus Nispel. Who else? Kevin Williamson. Kevin Williamson's a good director, although he hasn't directed much. He did direct that Mrs. Tingle movie in the '90s. So yeah, and he's directing Scream 7. You know, they're all great, bro. Rob Zombie. Who else? Mel Gibson had cool movies in his earlier career. Passion of the Christ was a really good movie as well. Let me see. What else? What other directors did I forget about? There's so many directors, right? Who is it? What was that one fool? Who directed Alien? Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott is also great. Who else? There's so many directors, bro. I forget right now. But yeah, bro. Yeah. Wolf says they play old classic horror movies at my local theater, and they're usually packed. So blessed to have that around. Awesome, bro. That's awesome. That is awesome. They do the same thing at the Quentin Tarantino theater here in LA. My friend invited me a few times to go see a movie, but I've been recently lately. My bad. I've been really lazy recently. But yeah, at the Tarantino theater here in LA, they play old school black and white films as well. That's awesome. Ido says, have you watched the Walking Dead series? Yes, I have watched the Walking Dead series. I don't remember it too much right now because I haven't seen it in a while. But yeah, I'm familiar with the show. Speaking of Walking Dead. Hey, speaking of Walking Dead, y'all know there's going to be... Let's see. So there's going to be a new season of Walking Dead. Hey, Ido, since you asked about Walking Dead, there's going to be a new season of Walking Dead. We're about to get into it right now. Apareki says, my favorite Stanley Kubrick films are Clockwork Orange and The Shining, and the best movies. He has an absolute masterpiece. Apareki, you should watch 2001 A Space Odyssey. Apareki, you should watch 2001 A Space Odyssey. Also directed by Stanley Kubrick. Caleb Hall says, I like revenge on bullies and abusers horror movies. That's awesome. That's awesome. So you would love Halloween Ends. Caleb. Caleb, you would love the movie Christine and Halloween Ends, because that's what those movies have to do. Caleb, like Caleb says, I like revenge on bullies and abusers horror movies. Yeah, so that would be Halloween Ends. Halloween Ends is basically that. It's a revenge movie. So is Christine. Caleb Hall. Apple Ricky says, I'm going to write a Clockwork Orange remake soon, but it's going to be pretty hard. It's literally a masterpiece. But I'll be adding my own twist, and it wouldn't be 2 hours. That's awesome. What's up, cousin? What's up, Klobnom7? How you doing, Klobnom7? Glad to see you here, bro. Glad to see you here on another stream here on episode 59 of Horror Sundays. Please smash the thumbs up, yeah, Klobnom? Get us up to 24, Klobnom, if you haven't smashed the thumbs up yet. Ido says, oh, cool. Klobnom says, I am late. It's all good, Klobnom. We still got some time. We still got like a little... we still got some time. We still got some time. Okay, so yeah. Idol says, cool. Yeah, we're about to get into it right now. Wolf says, I was lucky enough to experience 2001 A Space Odyssey in 70mm IMAX. It was absolutely incredible. Awesome. Yeah, I remember watching that movie with my dad when I was a kid in the 90s. It's a great movie. It's long. James, the Spirit, says, hi. Like your horror display. Thank you so much, James. Thank you so much. I appreciate that you like my horror. I still got to add more stuff over there, though. But yeah, over here looks awesome, right? Over here looks awesome. And yeah, James, what's up? If you're new here to the channel, James, welcome to Hollywood Horror Film Club. My name is Frank. Today is Horror Sundays, episode 59. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Smash the thumbs up. Get us up to 25. Please, James, so more people could join us here in the channel. Please smash the thumbs up, guys. Please. Caleb says, I will try to write more horror stories and scripts. You should, Caleb. You should, bro. Start making short films on your channel, man. That's what I started doing. Queen says, is that Chucky behind you? Yes, Queen. There are several Chuckies behind me. There is my what is it? The Spirit Halloween good guy doll right there. The one I'm pointing at. And then there's the Trick or Treat Studios one right there that I'm pointing at. And then there's that how can I put, okay, right here. Yeah, this one right here, the one that's not in a box. That one's like a independent made a Chucky doll. It looks great. I still gotta review it on the channel. I haven't had the chance. James says, I just subscribed. Thank you, James. I appreciate it, James. Thank you so much, James. I appreciate your subscription. Thank you so much. And Queen, if you're new here to the channel, please like and subscribe. My name is Frank, Queen, and this is Hollywood Horror Film Club. Today is Horror Sundays, episode 59. Caleb says, heard of a horror movie called The Cleansing Hour? Maybe. Let me see. Let me see before I start getting into the rest of the movie news. Let me see. The Cleansing Hour. Oh, I've heard of it. Yeah, I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it, though. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard about it, though. I've heard it's from 2019. James says, do you have any Five Nights at Freddy's stuff from the movies or the games? No, I don't. I only got one thing for Five Nights at Freddy's right now. I only got one thing. Look, this is the only thing I have for Five Nights at Freddy's. This is the only thing I have. Oh, the leg came off. But yeah, this is the only thing I have from Five Nights at Freddy's. This is the only thing I have from Fam. I hate the ball joints on this toy, though. It sucks. Oh, whack. But yeah, this is the only thing I have from Five Nights at Freddy's. That's Funtime Foxy. Yeah, I know. I know, Apple Ricky. Queen says, I liked and subscribed. Thank you so much, Queen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Apple Ricky says, I'm going to have a scene where Alex gets a flashback to when he was a kid. It's like a few minutes. Backstory. It's what transmitted him. Awesome. Yeah. That sounds great, Apple. That sounds great. Apple Ricky says, why a remake of Clockwork Orange? Because why not? Yeah. Why not, right? Do it. Apple Ricky says, that's Funtime Foxy. I know. I think I read that twice. She looks awesome, though. I love her. James says, it's cool. Like, I have a lot of Five Nights at Freddy's merch. That's awesome. That's awesome, James. That's awesome. You should go live on your channel and do live streams as well. You should show off your collection as well, James. Yeah, this is the only Five Nights. I gotta get more Five Nights at Freddy's stuff though as well. Yeah, you're right, guys. I need more Five Nights at Freddy's stuff. Let me put this back. Fun Time Foxy. All right, so where were we here? Apple Ricky says, Fun Time Foxy's a boy. Oh, well, to me, she seemed like a girl because of the pink. And because, come on, the name sounds like a girl. Fun Time Foxy? It sounds feminine. Like, I would expect a Guy Fox to be called at least Fun Time Fox, you know? Fun Time Fox, you know? But Foxy's like what you would call like an attractive girl, you know? Foxy, you know, like Jimi Hendrix, Foxy. You know, so yeah, I always thought it was a girl. I always thought Funtime Foxy was a girl because Funtime Foxy, like I said, sounds feminine. You know, it sounds girly. Funtime Fox, that would have been a better name for a male fox. You know, and then they put pink too. So I mean, I thought it was a girl. Clubnum says he's a femboy. Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much, yeah. That's pretty much, yeah. That's basically what he is. Apple Ricky says it does. All right, guys. So yeah, Idol was asking about The Walking Dead. So we got some Walking Dead news right here, guys. We got Walking Dead news. UndeadWalking.com is reporting. Walking Dead fans get the news they have been waiting for. 2026. Okay, let me see. 2026 is shaping up to be a very exciting year for Walking Dead fans. So Walking Dead fans, listen up. Caleb says, look up horror movie called Sociopathia. I'll look it up right now, Caleb. Let me just read the mood. Let me just read the news. Because someone was asking me about Walking Dead news. I'll look up the movie Sociopathia right now after the article. Okay, so yeah, 2026 is shaping up to be a very exciting year for Walking Dead fans. This year has been a good one to be a fan of the Walking Dead franchise. AMC's veteran saga continues to tell new stories through its ongoing spin-offs, and for the first time since they debuted in 2023, both multi-season ones aired new episodes in the same calendar year. Although many understandably wanted more from a miniseries, the ones who live, it's been a great year to see new episodes from both Daryl Dixon and Dead City. It's also been great to see both of those shows get renewed for more seasons as Dead City snagged a season 3 renewal. That's awesome. With Daryl Dixon was also renewed for a 4th and final season. Damn, it's already ending. I remember when that Daryl Dixon spinoff started. That's crazy, and it's already on the 4th season, final season. That means more episodes await us. What's even better is that it sounds like 2026 will be another year where both release new installments. In fact, this seems particularly true after this new update. Dead City Season 3 wraps filming, likely confirming a 2026 release date. The Walking Dead, Dead City has officially wrapped production on its 3rd season. The season, which filmed in Boston, Massachusetts, which serves as a double for New York City, has been in production since September 8th. It is expected to feature between 6 to 8 episodes. Although the plot remains under wraps, at this point it will likely pick up shortly after season 2 finale, where Maggie, Negan, and Pearlie Armstrong vow to take back the city and inspire hope once again. Of course, the Walking Dead universe that will be easier to set in the Walking Dead universe that will be easier said than done. Actor Jimmy Simpson, who joined this season as one of its multiple new additions, took to social media to confirm that he had wrapped on it, sharing a photo of himself holding Negan's infamous barbed wire bat, Lucille. He added that they'll add Smash Season 3, highlighting his excitement for fans to see it. Meanwhile, actor Logan Kim, who plays Maggie and Glenn's son, Herschel, also took to Instagram to confirm the end of filming was upon them, posting a photo with Jeffrey Dean Morgan and new addition Raul Castillo. Needless to say, Dead City's completion of production on season 3 is a good thing. It essentially confirms that the series will return to screens at some point in 2026. Remember, there is no typical release pattern for this show to guide us with, as there is 2-year gap between the first 2 seasons. Naturally, we're worried that the same might happen after AMC greenlit the 3rd season, but the prompt time frame between renewal and production itself suggests that it's very much priority for all involved. Better yet, fellow spin-off Daryl Dixon has maintained a yearly release since 2023 premiere, and it's two just recently wrapped production on its fourth season. It is also likely an indicator that Dead City will return next year. Why? Because Daryl's next season is expected to air in its annual fall window, meaning that a 2026 release window is likely on the card for Dead City as well. Both on them wrap production on a similar time suggests that next year will indeed be another good year for the Walking Dead fans. The Dead City season 3 renewal came earlier this year with the announcement that it would feature a new showrunner. Walking Dead veteran Seth Hoffman joins the show in the role, stepping in for Eli Jordan, who has stepped down. That means we could be in for a different approach to things. Whether that might be, or whatever that might be, we can't wait to see it in action when Dead City returns, which is now likely to be in 2026. So yeah, guys. Yeah, Ido. So you heard right there. All the new... all the new Walking Dead stuff that's coming out. Dead City, what is it called? Daryl Dixon season, what, 4? Damn, they're already on season 4? That's crazy, yo. That is crazy to me. That is crazy to me. Let me see. Wolf said, oh, hold on, wait up. I think I missed some stuff. Apple Ricky says, I'm definitely having Malcolm McDowell make a cameo appearance. That would be awesome. I would love that, Apple Ricky, if you can make that happen. Klomnom says, do you like the Terrifier films? Of course. I love the Terrifier films. The Terrifier films is inspired my original movie called The Clown. Check it out later here after the stream. Of course I love the Terrifier films. Like I said, they inspired me making my own original film called The Clown. All right, so Caleb said, look up a movie called Sociopathia. Sociopathia. Mara turns her victims into living dolls until she falls in love with Kat. As her feelings grow stronger, she is unable to keep her demons at bay when her violent nature takes over. That sounds cool. That sounds cool. Sociopathia. Pathia, Caleb. I haven't seen the movie, though. I have not seen the movie yet, though. I have not seen the movie yet. Aporeki says, I'm 100% having Evan Peters play Alex DeLarge. Yeah, that'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. Wolf says, try the wine. I don't drink wine. I don't drink alcohol. Caleb says, a wrestler slasher movie called Wrestle Massacre. That's original. That is some original stuff right there, Caleb. Aporeki says, Wolf has definitely seen A Clockwork Orange. Yep, he has. Yes, he has. Wolf says, I think it might be Kubrick's best movie, Aporeki. You have great taste. Caleb says, I wish they didn't cancel Creepshow series. Yes, I remember that show. I remember that show in the 90s without like was it a skeleton, I think, as well? I always used to confuse Creepshow and Tales from the Crypt. Hey, Caleb. Caleb, did you ever confuse Creepshow and Tales from the Crypt? Did you ever confuse Creepshow and Tales from the Crypt? Aporeki says, I was cured, all right. Klomnam says, I only like the first one because it was more realistic. Until the ending, I think they should have had it one and done. Oh, Terrifier? Are you talking about Terrifier? Klomnam, are you talking about Terrifier? Wolf says, the movie is a real horror show. Oh, my brothers. Caleb says, no. Wolf says, no, Frank, try wine. Is a quote from, oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot, bro. I haven't seen that movie in a while, man. You want to know how long I haven't seen that movie? A Clockwork Orange? Probably since, it was on TV probably like a few years back. I remember. It was on TV a few years back. Probably like in 2017, 2018, I haven't seen that movie. Caleb says, I knew the difference between Creepshow and Tales from the Crypt. Yeah, I used to get them confused. And yeah, Wolf, I haven't seen that movie since like 2017, 2018. I forgot, dude. I forgot, man. Caleb says, I knew the difference between Creepshow. Yeah. Like I said, I used to get them confused. I used to get Creep Show and Tales from the Crypt confused because they both had like a skeleton guy that would tell stories. Oh yeah, so here's some quick Scream 7 news. Hey guys, listen up. Here's some quick Scream 7 news. Scream 7's second trailer has been delayed. Remember there was supposed to be a second trailer for Scream 7? There was supposed to be a second trailer for Scream 7 dropping sometime, I think this week or something. That was supposed to drop sometime last week or this week. Apparently it's been delayed. Apparently it had new footage. I can't talk about it too much because there is like no article on it. There's only a YouTube video that Beyond the Mask did. But I'm not going to, play his video here, and go off that, But yeah, that's pretty much some news I wanted to drop real quick. Is that, yeah, the Scream 7 trailer has been delayed. The second Scream 7 trailer has been delayed. And apparently had new footage, obviously. I mean, come on, why wouldn't it? It's a trailer. Caleb says the first two Tales from the Crypt presents movies. The two Tales from the Crypt presents movies were not bad. Wasn't it like a TV show or like an anthology series as well? Tales from the Crypt. Okay, all right, guys, we got some Terminator 7 news. Caleb says, "Do you like American Horror Story?" Yes, I do like American Horror Story. My favorite season of American Horror Story was 1984, honestly. My favorite season of American Horror Story was 1984. I think it was the best season, honestly. In my honest opinion, I think it was the best season. American Horror Story 1984. Yeah, some of the other seasons are all right too, yeah, but I'm a big fan of slashers, serial killers, 80s stuff, 90s stuff. So, like season, what is it? What is it? 1984, I think was the best season for me. Klobnom says the sequels always aren't as good, especially with Black Phone 2. It was very pointless since they already ended the killer in the first film. Yeah, you know what's crazy about Black Phone 2? It's shot really nice and cool, but like there was no stakes in Black Phone 2. Like no one died. Klobnom, did anyone die in Black Phone 2? I think there was a Scream 6 situation there. Because I remember seeing it in theaters and I remember thinking the guy, the owner of the camp was gonna die when he falls in the water, but he doesn't die. And none of the counselors die, no one. Huh, right? Wolf says 1984, the one with Richard Ramirez. Yes, 1984, the one with Richard Ramirez. That's my favorite season of American Horror Story. Klobnon says, I give it 0. I think it's one of the worst films. What? Black Phone 2? Caleb says, I can't wait till the Vampire Lestat series comes on AMC. Oh, yeah, the Vampire Lestat. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to watch that. I'm a big fan of the original Interview with the Vampire. I love the original Interview with the Vampire that I cannot see anyone else as Lestat. It's just hard. Klobnom says Black Phone 2. Okay, yeah, I get you. Yeah, I get you now, Klobnom. Klobnom, did anyone die in Black Phone 2? Klobnom, did anyone die in Black Phone 2? Let me know, dude. Let me know. Did anyone die? Apple Ricky says, remember the story I told you of me at the store? Yeah, I do. I think you told it to me last week, right, Apples? Of you throwing a tantrum and then I think you like peed or something and to piss off your mom or something like that. Yeah, I remember, Apple Ricky. I remember. Why, Apple Ricky? Klobnom says it's just stupid dream stuff. Kind of like Nightmare on Elm Street. It was like a mixture of like Nightmare. Like to me, Black Phone 2 was like a mixture of Nightmare on Elm Street and Halloween Ends. Because the grabber, he's all like zombie-like and decaying, kind of, like Michael Myers in Halloween Ends. The frostbite and the snow was kind of like the mold, like Michael in Halloween Ends, very similar. Appariki says, what would your my mom do if you did that? What would my mom do if I did that? My mom is okay. So here's the thing, my mom, here's the thing. Like I said, I grew up. I was a kid in the '90s, you know, in like the late '90s, you know. And my mom is Mexican, and Mexicans don't tolerate that kind of, you know, behavior from kids, especially back in those days. So I would have gotten whooped. I would have gotten whooped bad, bro. I would have gotten whooped if I would have thrown a tantrum like that at a store, especially in public. I remember one time I threw like a stick, a metal stick at a car windshield, and my dad whooped me with the belt hard, bro, that I never did that again. So if I would have done something like that at the store in front of people, oh, I would have been in for it when I got home. So yeah, poor Ricky. I would have not survived. Caleb says, I like it when they make new horror anthologies. Yeah, that's awesome, right? That's awesome. That's awesome. Hopefully I could get my own horror anthology going sometime, you know? I figured out how to get movies on Amazon Prime. I figured out how to get movies on Amazon Prime. So I'm thinking when I shoot my next clown movie, I'm gonna try to get it on there. I'm gonna try to get it on there and maybe try to produce a horror anthology series. Try my best to produce a horror anthology series. Caleb, like Caleb says, I heard people like that, you know? But yeah, that's cool though. I figured out how to get movies on Hulu and on Amazon Prime and Tubi as well. So yeah, in the coming years, maybe next year, hopefully, I could get my first movie on either one of those streaming services. It's definitely gonna be my clown movie though. I don't know if I should do the Clown 2 or if I should remake the first Clown movie with a higher budget. I still haven't figured it out. If I should make the Clown 2 or if I should remake the first Clown movie in a higher budget. Still need to figure that out. Um, Caleb says, I wish they, okay. Caleb says, I wish they would make a remake of the heavy metal horror movies, Trick or Treat and Black Roses. Make them both hardcore and gory. That would be awesome, yeah. Uh, that would be awesome. Hey, Caleb, have you seen those movies called Heavy Metal? About like those cartoons? Is that what you're talking about? The heavy metal horror movies? Yeah, is that what you're talking about? Those VHSs? Those cartoons that kind of looked a little anime and they're like in like medieval, not medieval, but like it's kind of like medieval, like dragon times, you know, like He-Man, Thundercats type stuff. Wolf says, I'd be down to watch that. Awesome, awesome, awesome. But wait, Wolf, I'm lost. What do you be down to watch? Wolf, what are you down to watch? Cloudnom says, I used to be afraid of my dog's head falling off because its eyes look like it's going blind and shit, and she's old. Oh, yeah, that sucks. I remember my poor doggy Skinny was like that already. He was like 14 years old, bro. And he was really old already. He couldn't climb up the stairs no more. He died already, though, this summer. Rest in peace. But yeah, his eyes would be closing a lot because he was kind of losing his vision, you know? Yeah, that sucks, man. That sucks. I hate it when my dogs get old, bro. Hate that. Caleb says, yeah, I saw heavy metal cartoons movies, but I'm talking about something else. Let me see. Hey, is it these? Caleb, is it this? Is it these? Like the Viking metal guys? Is it this? Apple Ricky says, my mom said I was literally like a dog marking its territory. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy, Apple Ricky, like your mom said that. Wolf says, I was replying to Caleb's heavy metal horror movie comment. Oh, okay. Is it this, guys? Come on, let me know so I could watch them. Is it this? Heavy metal horrors? What is it called? Rock and roll nightmare? Trick or treat? This is what you're talking about? I think I found Trick or Treat. I've heard of this one. Look. Is it? Look, Trick or Treat. I didn't see this movie, but I saw this poster at some metalhead's guy I used to go at some metalhead dude's house I used to go to. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I remember this. I remember this. Because people would confuse it with Trick or Treat with Sam. You know Trick or Treat with Sam, right? The movie from 2007, Trick or Treat, that takes place on Halloween. Yeah, a lot of people would confuse this with Trick or Treat, with that Trick or Treat. Yeah, but I remember seeing this at some metalhead, some metalhead dude that I know. I used to go to his house a lot when we used to throw shows together. But yeah, awesome. Yeah, I gotta check this out though. I gotta check this out. Let me see. Caleb says, yeah, Cloud9 says, reminds me of All Hallows Eve 2. Awesome. Oh, the Terrifier movie? Yeah, Hallows Eve. Yeah, that's when Terrifier was low budget. YouTube movies and stuff. Dude, I can't wait to get my clown movie on Tubi and Amazon Prime and Hulu, bro. That's gonna be so awesome. That's gonna be so well. Maybe Tubi and Amazon Prime first before Hulu, because I heard with Hulu you need a few extra steps. I heard Tubi and Amazon Prime it's like less hassle to get your movie on there. Caleb says, I know Trick or Treat with Sam. I want them to make a sequel to it. There's been sequels, there's been rumors of a sequel forever, but nothing ever comes to fruition. Yeah, there's been sequels for Trick or Treat with Sam for a long time, but nothing's ever came of it. Cloudnom says, get that on theaters. Get what in theaters? The Clown? I could probably get it in theaters. Cloudnom, are you talking about my clown movie? Caleb says, I like clown horror movies too. Yes, I love clown movies. I'm telling you, Terrifier inspired me to make my own original clown movie. Check it out on the channel, guys. Check it out later after the live stream. Check out my original movie called The Clown. Frank Gonzalez is the clown. I'm going to start getting into a lot of clown stuff again because I'm planning the sequel already. The sequel is going to be disgusting. I'm going to try to make it nastier than Terrifier, bro. I'm going to try to make it nastier than Terrifier with not just gore, but also like bodily fluids and all that nastier stuff, you know? Nastier, disgusting stuff. Like toenails, all that stuff. Toe jam, all that nasty stuff. Disgusting. My movie's going to be really gory and disgusting. Apple says, I'd also do the same at school. I would do both S and piss in the classroom in elementary school. You're crazy, Apple Ricky. You're kind of psychotic. Yeah, that's kind of psycho of you, Apple Ricky. That's pretty psycho. Apple Ricky says, I was a wild child. Yes, you were. Cloudnom says, yes, I'm going to try my best. Yeah. Yeah. All I got to do is shoot the movie. I already got a crazy idea for the Clown 2 in my head already. I already got a crazy idea too. And I also want to open up an Indiegogo to at least raise some funds to get some good special effects, you know? Like to get some good what is it called? Some good gore effects, you know? I'm about to open up an Indiegogo. Wait, what I'm gonna do first though is I'm gonna get my camera. I'm gonna buy my camera first. Well, first I'm gonna finish the script. Then I'm gonna get my camera, and then I'm gonna start an Indiegogo campaign and try to raise up a goal so we could at least have decent enough money for some good special effects like prosthetics and fake blood and maybe some head casts of my actors for some mannequin heads in case we need to stab heads and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what we need to do. And after that, shoot the movie, and then pretty much get a distributor, or just upload it to Amazon Prime, or get a distributor first though, to get it into theaters and all that stuff. Caleb says Terrifier is better than Clown in a Cornfield. Yeah, Terrifier is better, but Clown in a Cornfield is still a fun watch though. I still liked Clown in a Cornfield. It was still pretty cool. But yeah, Terrifier is the superior, yeah, the superior character, yeah. But Clown in a Cornfield had a the thing about Clown in a Cornfield, it was kind of like a whodunit. Terrifier is not a whodunit. You know who Art the Clown is. You know he doesn't have to hide who he is. And Clown in a Cornfield, the adults would dress up as a Frendo the Clown, right? To kill the teenagers and stuff like that. You know, so it was more of a whodunit with a motive. You know, with a motive. Art the Clown has no motive. Art, well, I mean, up to this point, we don't know. But so far, Art the Clown does not have a motive. Art the Clown is not afraid to show who he is, you know, and go by his real name, you know. Unlike Frendo the Clown. Frendo the Clown is like Ghostface. It's just a costume people wear to commit crimes to remain undetected. But yeah, I still like Clown in a Cornfield, though. Apple Ricky says, I don't remember any of this. It's what my mom told me. Yeah. That's crazy. I bet she didn't want to remember any of that after what she needed to clean up from you. Caleb says they need to make a sequel to Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Yeah, supposedly Ryan Gosling was going to make a sequel to that, but I knew that was a lie. I knew that was a lie. Like about a year ago, yeah, like about last fall, there was rumors that Ryan Gosling was going to be producing a Killer Clowns from Outer Space sequel or movie, whatever. I knew that was bull. Apple Ricky says, why does that sound so familiar? That sounds like Chucky. That sounds like Chucky. Why does that sound so familiar? What, all the gore, all the nasty stuff in my clown movie? I'm kind of lost, Apple Ricky. Cloudnom says, Terrifier should have died in the first one. Would have been more realistic and satisfying. The gore is way too extreme in the sequels to where it just seems like exploitation. I mean, that's cool, though. It's all fake, though. It's not real exploitation, though. Cloudnom, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But I don't think Art the Clown was ever even really made out to be realistic like that, you know? Yeah, the first one is pretty realistic until the end when he blasts his head off, you know? When he blasts his head off. And then isn't he somehow still alive at the end of the first one, kind of? Or is that the beginning of the second one? Because the second one picks up right after at the right at the end of the first one. The second one picks up after. So that makes the second movie still canon, and the first movie still canon. Well, no shit, is gonna be canon. So yeah, like Art was never really meant to be supernatural, and the exploitation stuff, it's not real gore, you know. It's all fake prosthetics and fake blood, makeup, you know. It's all actors, you know, with their consent, you know, doing all the stunts and doing the acting, you know. So it's not really exploitation, like real exploitation, you know, like a snuff film. Caleb says, do you like horror movies about succubuses? Yeah, like a succubus, like some kind of like demonic female or some kind of like a humanoid female looking demon or something that steals your energy or gets in your mind. I'm familiar with the term succubus, but I don't know if I've seen too many movies with succubuses in them. I would say Jennifer's Body, that's like a succubus movie. Jennifer's Body with Megan Fox, and that is I was gonna say the girl from Mean Girls, but I don't think that's her. But yeah, Jennifer's Body with Megan Fox, she's like a succubus because she like feeds on the guys, right? She feeds on the boys, on the males. She eats them or like sucks their blood or something like that. Yeah, so I think, yeah, I'm familiar with that movie, but I don't know if I've seen too many other succubus movies. Maybe let me see. From Dusk Till Dawn. I don't know, freaking Salma Hayek when she turns into a vampire, but yeah, that's pretty much the only succubus movies I'm familiar with. Apareki says, Clown in a Cornfield, it sounds very familiar. Oh yeah, have you seen it, Apareki? There were books. There were books at first, Apareki, Clown in a Cornfield. Critic Chris says, hi Frank, what's up, Critic Chris? How you doing? Hi everyone, how you doing, Critic Chris? How you doing? Glad to see you here on the channel on another episode of Horror Sundays. Today's episode 59. Please smash the thumbs up, yeah? Critic Chris, get us up to 28, please, Critic Chris, so more people can join us here on the live stream. Please, Critic Chris, get us up to 28, please. So more people could join us here. Let us know how your weekend was. Caleb says, do you like horror movies about sexual demons? That would be like succubuses. Yeah, Caleb. Yeah, that would be like a succubus. Queen of the Damned. Yeah, that's like another succubus movies as well. Queen of the Damned with I forgot her name. What was that actress's name that played her? Not Halle Berry. I forgot her name, but yeah, she was pretty hot though. Queen of the Damned. That would count as another succubus movie because they're like vampiric type people as well. Let me see. Cloudnow says, first one was creepier. The sequels were just in your face with the gore. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I don't mind that at all. Cloudnow, I don't mind that at all. I like that the first Terrifier movie was like the most realistic one. And then the next one's just, well, yeah, they're sequels. They got to up the ante, you know? It's like Scream. It's like the first Scream was like the best and most realistic Scream movie, in my opinion, you know? The first Scream 96 was the most realistic one. And then once you get to Scream 2, that's, even Randy says, you know, the sequel has to outdo the first one. More blood, more gore, you know, there it is. Terrifier is just following the rules of horror movie rules, you know? The sequels have to have more blood, more gore. Carnage candy. Exactly what Randy said. Yeah, it's just like the first Scream movie. The first Scream movie was the most realistic, the most down to earth, the most possible than any of the other sequels, because in Scream 2, you start getting more of the horror comedy thing, you know, you start getting more comedy in Scream 2, more romance, you know, with Derek singing the I Love You song, I Think I Love You song to Sydney in the cafeteria, you know, and stuff like that, you know, there's more romance in it. And also, yeah, there's more romantic scenes between Derek and Sydney than there was with Billy and Sydney in Scream 1, you know? So yeah, Scream 2 just added more and more genre tropes, you know, from different genres. You know, Scream 2 had horror, comedy, romance, drama. You know, Scream 2 was a mixture of all the genres pretty much. You know, and that's what makes Scream 1 the most realistic, because it was the most down to earth. The next movie is just, you know, more gore, more less realism, you know, Ghostface surviving questionable things, you know, as well. So yeah, same thing with Terrifier. Same thing with Terrifier, Cloudnum. The first one's the most realistic one. Obviously, it's the first movie. You got to keep it grounded, you know, down to earth a bit, you know. And then by the sequels, that's when you can start getting all gory, disgusting, bloody, you know. It's just, you know, it's just the love of the sport. That's how it goes. Cloudnum says, what about a Diddy movie? I would not want to be involved with that at all. No way, shape, or form. That would be horrible. That would be beyond the horror movie. That'd be suffering in real life. Chris says, I had an idea for a film like that. Not demon, but zombie-like. Yeah, that would be cool, bro. That'd be cool. That sounds awesome. I do want to make a zombie movie eventually, too. Zombies are cool. And vampires. Vampires. I've been really caught on vampires since I rewatched the Interview with the Vampire. I really want to make something like that eventually. Caleb says, my mom is really religious. She hates stuff that is satanic. Yeah, growing up, my mom was very religious too as well, but my dad wasn't. Yeah, he believes in God. He believed in God and all that stuff, but he wasn't like, he didn't want his sons to be losers and not know about stuff from pop culture, you know? So I would always watch scary movies with my dad or my cousins, and sometimes my mom would let me watch them too as well. She was very religious, but she still let me watch stuff, you know, here and there and stuff. So yeah, she was strict, but she wasn't that strict. She would still let me watch stuff because she knew it was all just entertainment and fake, you know. But yeah, I get what you're saying, though. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, Caleb. I get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying, bro. My mom is really, really religious to this day still, you know. Now she doesn't care about any of this stuff, you know. To her, it's just movie, like cartoon characters, basically, you know. Like, especially once I started making movies myself, and she started seeing how all these scenes are shot and how it's all just fake blood, she really eased up on all the violence and stuff, you know, because she knows it's all make believe, you know, it's not real. But like, unlike before in the 90s when I didn't make movies. I was only a child and we knew nothing of filmmaking. People actually thought that the violence you saw on TV and movies was real, you know? Especially like if your parents were like Hispanic and didn't speak English and were very ignorant to like film and pop culture and stuff like that, they would be very, very strict on scary movies and stuff like that. But like I said, my mom, even though she was religious and against all the satanic stuff, she still let me watch scary movies, you know. My dad didn't care. I would have gone if I couldn't watch at my house. My cousins were always having a movie night as well. They were like teenagers in the 90s, you know, so they were always watching horror. Or my neighbors downstairs, they were always watching horror VHS tapes as well. So I couldn't escape horror movies. They were just everywhere, you know. They're a big part of my life. Wolf says, Queen of the Damned was an awesome soundtrack. Yeah, it was. I wish they made soundtracks for movies like that still, bro. I wish they made soundtracks for films like that still. Notice how they don't make soundtracks like that for movies anymore? Like bands would literally like go into the studio and write a song about the movie, you know, that had to do with the movie, you know. Last time I saw something like that was when Twilight came out, the first one, and the soundtrack came out, and especially with Paramore, with the song Decode. That's the last time I ever saw a movie soundtrack that big, ever. A movie soundtrack that is not, you know, the score of the movie. A movie soundtrack that has songs by actual bands and recording artists, you know? Like, that's the last time, from my recollection, that I ever saw a movie soundtrack be that big again. Was around 2008-ish, 9-ish, when Twilight, the first Twilight movie came out, and Paramore Decode was just dominating the airwaves, you know? That's the last time I ever saw a big movie soundtrack like that, ever. I wish they did that more often. Critic Chris says, weekend was nice. How about yours, Frank? My weekend was great as well, bro. My weekend was great as well, man. Glad to hear yours was great as well, Critic Chris. Caleb says, Aaliyah played as the Queen of the Damned. Yeah, I forgot it was Aaliyah, bro. I was thinking Zoe Kravitz for some reason, but Zoe Kravitz is way younger still. Caleb says, Queen of the Damned soundtrack is really cool. Yes, it is. Critic Chris says, anyone seen The Green Inferno? Thoughts of what the character Justine never was rescued? No, I haven't seen that, Critic Chris. I've not seen that. My bad, Critic Chris, my bad. Caleb says, Freddy vs. Jason soundtrack is cool. Yes, that was another great soundtrack that came out. I'm telling you, they don't make soundtracks like that no more. I think Scream 5 actually, and Scream 6 though. But it wasn't like huge though. But I remember though, yeah, Scream 5 actually did have a soundtrack as well with actual recording artists in it and bands, as well as Scream 6. Scream 6 also had a soundtrack with a recording artist as well. Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park, In My Head. Demi Lovato, I'm Still Alive. And then a few other artists. So yeah. But notice how they're not big like that anymore. Like back in the 90s and early O's. Wolf says, Freddy vs. Jason was the movie that made me fall in love with metal music. Yeah, well, I liked metal music before that, but Freddy vs. Jason just amplified it even more. Yeah, bands need to start making soundtracks for horror movies again, bro. Bands really need to start making soundtracks for horror movies again. Wolf says, there ain't no movie like a Diddy movie. Oh, man, hell no. Imagine all his tapes. Critic Chris says, maybe not. Zombie but living dead. The dead is brought back by science means. Maybe not zombie, but living dead. Are we talking about the song Living Dead. Night of the Living Dead or Living Dead Girl by Rob Zombie. Apparix says, Frank, you definitely need to write a film called Exorcism. You got to make an exorcism film, not fan film. You got to make an exorcism film, not a fan film. Yeah, Apparix, I'm getting towards there. Little by little. You already saw my Instagram. I was doing sound for some it's like a drama movie, though. It's not horror. But it was still fun being on set. So little by little, I'm getting there. Little by little, I'm getting there. I'm getting my professional camera soon, sometime in January. I'm going to try to finish scripting The Clown 2. And yeah, I'm going to try to get that on Amazon and stuff like that, you know? Apparicus says, I kind of wonder what would happen if a female human and a male demon mated. They would make a Nephilim. Look up in the Bible. That's what happened in the Bible when the sons of what was it called? When the angels mated with the daughters of man. Clown says, what about the new Ice Spice SpongeBob movie? I have not seen that movie. I have not seen that movie. I have not seen that movie, man. I mean, I'll watch it when it's out on streaming, but I mean, I wanted to watch some horror on Friday and I couldn't. Yeah, I'll watch it when it's on streaming. Critic Chris says, I miss soundtracks and movies myself. I feel like James Gunn movies are only ones that have songs for soundtracks. Yeah, it's because it's really hard to get copyright now. It's really hard to get the licensing for music nowadays. Back in the day, it wasn't that hard. It wasn't that hard. Why do you think it was so easy for Wes Craven to have a Halloween '78 playing in the party scene in Scream? In the scene in Scream '96 when they're at the party at Stu's house. That's why it was so easy for Wes Craven to be able to get the licensing to have Halloween '78 playing in the party scene, because copyright licensing wasn't so strict back then, or as expensive, I'm guessing. Now it really is for music and for films. And Scream 5 in the party scene when Mindy's watching Stab. And she's watching the scene when they're in the living room watching Halloween. They couldn't even get the real Halloween. They couldn't even get a frame of the real Halloween movie in there because they said it would cost too much. So what Radio Silence did is they just shot their own DIY frame of Michael Myers when this hand is going up about to kill Bob. Like Scream 5 couldn't even get the frame from Halloween '78. So back in the day, I think it was easier to get a licensing, or the copyright wasn't as strict, like now it is, because like now anyone could use anyone's work because of the internet, So easy to just like screen record it and use someone's recordings. Klobnom says, when's the Ends film dropping? The Ends film, the Halloween Ends fan film. The Halloween Ends fan film should be dropping sometime in February. The Halloween Ends fan film should be dropping sometime in February. We already have the ending completely shot. I just need to shoot like 5 more scenes. We have 5 more scenes left to shoot. So that's not even a lot. We should be done with that in the next few weeks already. So yeah, the Halloween Ends fan film should be dropping sometime in February. Because I still want to do promo for it during January, get a trailer out, So yeah, depending on when we get the 5 scenes shot. So yeah, so let me just rephrase this. So maybe around probably around February or early March. February or early March, the Halloween Ends fan film should come out. Like I said, because I still need to shoot 5 more scenes, and I still want to do some promo for it and have a trailer out. So by February, early March, you guys don't know. But we're almost done with it. We're almost done with the Halloween Ends fan film, and it's looking great. It is looking great for a fan film shot on a phone, because I'm not using the regular iPhone camera. I'm using the Blackmagic Cinema, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera app. I'm using the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera app, and it really makes the shots on the phone look more cinematic than they would on just the regular iPhone camera. So yeah, that fan film's coming. That fan film is coming soon. Klobnom, that fan film is coming soon. Caleb says, I wish for a remake sequel, American Psycho. Bring back Patrick Bateman. That would be awesome, right? That would be awesome. Apparently, Austin Butler has been casted as the new Patrick Bateman. They are going to remake American Psycho. They're going to be remaking American Psycho. Klobnom says, nobody could replace Christian Bale. Nobody. I think I could play Patrick Bateman. I'll just how does he comb his hair to the side like a white guy shave? Get a suit on. I almost kind of got like the same face as like Christian Bale, He's got like a skinny face like I do with cheekbones, Klobnom says, nobody. Apareki's soundtrack is like Children of the Corn, Terrifier, The Omen, Clockwork Orange, Halloween, The Exorcist, and Nightmare on Elm Street. Sounds great, Apple. Wolf says, there's going to be an American Psycho remake with Austin Butler playing Patrick Bateman. Yes. You are totally right, Wolf. Caleb says, heard of a B-rated horror movie called Hunting Humans? I don't think I have. I don't think I have, Caleb. Wolf says, the book is one of the most effed up stories I've ever read. Jesus Christ. Which one? Blood Meridian? Critic Chris says, A Nightmare on Elm Street 4 was known for its soundtrack with songs missing still from the movie with Dream Warriors. Yeah, still, they also had awesome soundtracks, right? Also, Friday the 13th movies, the old ones. Wolf says, Dawkins, yes, Dream Warriors, some metal. Dawkins was a good 80s metal band because they weren't like the typical hair metal band, you know? They were like glam. They were more like glam. They were more like glam. Yeah, Dawkins was more like glam. They weren't like they weren't like lipstick metal. They were more like glam. Well, I think glam is lipstick metal, but Dawkins was still a really good band though. I like Dawkins a lot. Critic Chris says yes. Apple says horror movies. I don't like the Popeye horror movie, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, The Children of the Corn 2009 remake, 2020 reboot, and Children of the Corn 2, 3, 4, and 5. I like 2009 remake of Rob Zombie, Apple Ricky. I like the 2009 Rob Zombie movie. Critic Chris says, Frank, what do you think? What do you think the souls of Freddy's victims experienced in his chest? Pain, maybe still. Yes, of course. Pain, eternal suffering. They're like in hell, basically. Freddy is like hell, you know. So once he has their souls, they will be fearing. They will be feeling Freddy's pain, his eternal suffering, because they are a part of him now. Why do you think when Freddy opens his shirt, you see them screaming and stuff like, because they're in pain? Apariki says, the Babadook is boring, but for me it's not that special. Yeah, the Babadook is boring. Critic Chris says, Apariki, did you see my question? Apariki says, what's your question, Critic Chris? OG Wicked Milk says, yes, sir. What's up, Wicked Milk? How you doing? How you doing, Wicked Milk? Glad to see you here on the chat. Another episode of Horror Sundays. Today's episode 59. Please smash the thumbs up if you haven't, Wicked Milk. Wicked Milk says, what's good? Nothing much, bro. Here, just chilling on another chat. Wolf says, I was talking about the American Psycho novel. Oh, the novel, the book. Yeah, I haven't read the novel. I've seen the movie, though. I haven't read the novel. Cloudnom says, I think Michael is better than Jason because he's better written. The Blumhouse trilogy kind of dumb him down to Jason levels. It's all good. I like them both either way, honestly. I like them both either way, Cloudnom. Wolf says, OG Wicked Milk is in the house. He is. Aporiki says, well, I didn't like Halloween 2 remake. I didn't like the mask. I didn't like the replaced Dake Fairch. And I didn't like Michael looking like a bum. He looked cool in the first. Yeah, I get you, though, Aporiki. I still like the second one, though. Critic Chris says, Frank, did Freddy absorb Nancy's soul after she was killed in the Dream Warriors? No, I don't think her. I think she probably went to, like, heaven or something like that, you know? I don't think so, because she was she wasn't consumed by Freddy's by Freddy's essence like all her other friends were, you know, or all the other characters that were before her or after her. Caleb says the Halloween is a good movie. The Halloween 2, I like the sexy female villains, but part 1 is better and 2 is stupid. Yeah, the Howling part 1, part 2, those were the best ones. The how he changes, huh? The animatronics brought the time. How he changes into the wolf, that's crazy. Wicked Milk says, hell yeah. Cloudnon says, I think Rob Zombie's Halloween made him too big, but I still did my bum Michael better than Before Ends. I think they're all good. I like them all. All right, guys, let's get into some more horror movie news. All right, Screen Rant is reporting. Listen up, guys. If any of you guys like Terminator, I'm a big Terminator fan and I wanted to read this. Screen Rant is reporting James Cameron's Terminator 7 update is the best possible news after Dark Fate. Listen up. If anyone is into Terminator, listen up. The Terminator franchise has been struggling for some time now. After blisteringly good releases in 1984, 1991, Terminator has bounced somewhat between okay and poor ever since, with nothing hitting the heights of James Cameron's first 2 entries. Cameron and Linda Hamilton returning for Terminator Dark Fate was intended to correct the ship's course, but Terminator's 2019 effort only continued the downward trend. Terminator should arguably left alone at this point. The past 4 sequels tried various approaches, without various successes from alternate timelines to quasi reboots. Nevertheless, Terminator 7 does appear to be in the pipeline, with James Cameron actively working on the next chapter. While skepticism is to be expected, Cameron's latest update provides a promising sign. All right, so let's get into the Terminator stuff. Caleb says, I only like Terminator 1, 2, and 3. Then listen up. Asked whether Terminator 7 would include Arnold Schwarzenegger after his main role in Dark Fate. James Cameron responded with unequivocal certainty that Arnie would not feature starting. Wait, what? Certainly, wait. Cameron responded with unequivocal certainty that Arnie would not feature, stating, I can safely say he won't be. There needs to be a broader interpretation of Terminator and the idea of a time war super intelligence. And the idea of a time war and super intelligence. There's no denying Schwarzenegger turned Terminator into a cinematic behemoth, and his presence is a huge reason the Terminator and the Terminator 2 Judgment Day are still so beloved today. If the Terminator movies are to continue, however, they need to evolve. Terminator is a web-like universe of different timelines, robotic threats, and human rebels. It needs imagination at the cutting edge of sci-fi. The only way for Terminator to thrive in years to come is to resist relying on former glories, namely Arnold Schwarzenegger, who has starred in all but one of the franchise's cinematic offerings. That's not a criticism of Arnie, nor anything to do with his age, but simply a recognition that Terminator needs to do something fresh, with James Cameron himself acknowledged in his latest comments. Watching Terminator Dark Fate, it had a solid foundation for greatness. Linda Hamilton, not seen since Judgment Day, honored to the franchise's past, but with the two upgraded Terminators and a new Resistance leader, the franchise's next generation of heroes and villains was promised with Hamilton and Schwarzenegger. However, Dark Fate placed too much emphasis on the past and its updated elements or wasted. Terminator already proved it can work without Schwarzenegger. Terminator Salvation was the franchise first cinematic installment without Arnold Schwarzenegger, and given how much it underwhelmed, it's easy to see why subsequent releases felt the need to keep Arnie involved. At the same time, two separate Terminator projects have done just fine without Austrian Oak, premiering in 2008 shortly before Salvation. The Sarah Connor Chronicles took Skynet to the small screen despite being canceled after 2 seasons. Sarah Connor Chronicles earned a passionate following and received far more warmly than any post-Judgment Day movie sequel. The sheer ambition of a live-action Terminator TV series presented a considerable challenge, but Lena Headey's show found smart ways to expand upon its source material despite its flaws. The Sarah Connor Chronicles carried the spirit of James Cameron's original movie far better than the likes of Terminator Genisys. Skip forward to 2024, the Terminator entered the realm of animation with Terminator Zero scoring an impressive 87% on Rotten Tomatoes. Terminator Zero added a new flavor of old ideas, a rejuvenating concept without overriding score elements. Arnold Schwarzenegger was nowhere to be seen. Instead, fans were treated to a Terminator played by Timothy Olyphant, whose character perfectly highlighted how the movies could thrive by letting go of Arnie as a focal point. You guys heard that? Timothy Olyphant, Mickey from Scream 2. Both shows prove that when the story and the approach are right, Terminator is capable of cutting its Arnold Schwarzenegger ties without imploding the franchise. Just needs a good script to bravely take the bold step. Thankfully, James Cameron appears to have come to the same conclusion. So yeah, there's going to be a new Terminator movie, whether people like it or not. I'm just curious to see what James Cameron's going to do now. I'm just curious to see what James Cameron is going to do. Let me see. Apple Ricky says, do you know Drew Barrymore, the lady that plays Casey in Scream 1? She was also Gertie, the little girl in E.T. Yes, I know, Apple Ricky, I know. I'm aware of that. You could just tell by her face. Caleb says, Other Terminator movies, no effing way. Yes, I love Terminator. Even if they get ridiculous, they're still fun to watch for me. Wolf says, do you consider the first Terminator movie a slasher, a horror film? It's an ongoing debate amongst fans. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Wolf, listen up. Wolf, I do consider the original Terminator movie, 1984, a slasher movie. It's a horror movie. You know why? Because there is an interview with James Cameron saying that he wanted to make something like Halloween, something like Michael Myers that was indestructible, that would get shot, burnt, and just won't die. That's how that's one of the ways he came up with Terminator. Also, the dream he had of the robot skeleton coming out of the flames, kind of like Michael coming out of the flames in Halloween 2. So yes, I consider the first Terminator a slasher movie, a horror movie. It is a horror movie. It is a horror movie. It is a horror movie. It is. I do consider it a horror movie. Clown says that Kirk mask be looking like Mia Goth with no eyebrows. Oh, you see the Kirk mask in the back? It's right there. Which one? Is that one? Yeah, that one. Yeah, like Mia Goth. And Jenna Ortega. She be bleaching her eyebrows too. I don't know why that's even a thing. Critic Chris says Dark Fate. I liked because Linda Hamilton returned, but I think the franchise ran its course. I will give it a chance if they continue it from Salvation and then Post Judgment Day. Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, Post Judgment Day with the blacked out sky and the lasers. Caleb says Terminator 1 is kind of slasher. Yes, it is. Terminator 1 is kind of slasher. Like I said earlier, James Cameron wanted to make something like Michael Myers. Critic Chris says first Terminator I loved most. Yes, I love the first one the most. Funny enough, I was watching Terminator 2 last night. Yeah. Wolf says Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines is a childhood favorite of mine. I even played the video game. Yeah, Terminator 3 was all right. Rise of the Machines was okay. It was okay. It was all right. Wolf says, but nothing will beat Terminator 1 and 2. Judgment Day is a classic. I like Terminator 1 more. Judgment Day is good too, but I like the first one more. Apple Ricky says, I can also see myself in a Terminator remake playing John Connor, but gender swap. That would be cool. Critic Chris says, Timothy, I can see a John Connor post Judgment Day after Salvation. Yup. That'll be awesome, right? All right, we got some Spider-Man, brand new day news. Spider-Man, Parker. I need pictures of Spider-Man. We get a picture of Julia Roberts in a thong. We get a picture of this bozo. We get a picture of... I can't do it. We get a picture of Julia Roberts in a thong. We get a picture of this bozo. Parker, I need a picture of Spider-Man. Spider-Man, hero or menace? Spider-Man, hero or menace? If we could get a picture of Julia Roberts in a thong, we get a picture of this bozo. Parker, give me a picture of Spider-Man. I need a picture of Spider-Man now. All right, guys, we're going to get into the Spider-Man news. Spider-Man, hero or menace? OG Wicked Milk says, laughing my ass off, spot on. Hey, Wicked Milk, should I play J. Jonah Jameson? Should I audition for the voice of J. Jonah Jameson? Hey, should I audition for the voiceover of J. Jonah Jameson eventually? Critic Chris says, that is so good, Frank, laughing out loud. Yeah, bro. I've been able to do the Jameson voice since I was a kid for some reason. Since watching Spider-Man, the animated series on Fox Kids growing up as a kid, I just somehow picked up on the voice. He's just an angry chain smoker, That's all he is. Parker. Yeah, but yeah, it's funny, right? Critic Chris says, Frank, did you know both Michael Biehn and Robert Patrick appeared in The Walking Dead? Yes, I am aware of that. Yes, I did know that. Also, what's his name? Robert Patrick also appeared in the show Mayans. And I think Sons of Anarchy too. Hey, Critic Chris, didn't Robert Patrick also comes out in Sons of Anarchy? Cosplay Zano says, hey Frank, how you doing, bro? How was the movie? How was the move? Oh, the move was good, Cosplay Zano. The move was good. Check out my new room. Check out the new display. Check out the new display. Look at that. Check out the new display. Got some more stuff over here, but I still gotta put more stuff up. But yeah, I got a new room. It looks nicer. And yeah, Cosplay Zano, glad to see you here, bro. Please smash the thumbs up. And yeah, hey, Critic Chris, did it? I know Robert Patrick came out in the biker TV series on Hulu, Mayans. I think he might have also came out on Sons of Anarchy. Robert Patrick. I think he also came out on Sons of Anarchy. Um, Critic Chris says that is so good. Cosizano says, I'm good, working on getting my license soon. Love the new room layout. Thank you so much. Critic Chris, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Critic Chris. I appreciate it. Please smash the thumbs up. Yeah, Critic Chris, if you haven't smashed the thumbs up, get us up to 31. Please, Critic Chris, please. Critic Chris, please get us up. No, Cosplay Zano, get us up to 31. Please, Cosplay. Cosplay, get us up to 31. Please, man, so more people could join us. Please, Cosplay. Apareki says, would you want to meet Linda Blair, Reagan from Exorcist? Yes, of course. Why not? Castellano says, the lighting is better in your new room space. Yeah, it looks great, right? Dominic St. Clair said, hey, what's up, Dominic? What's up, Dominic St. Clair? What's up, man? Glad to see you here on the channel on another episode of Horror Sundays. Today's episode 59. Please smash the thumbs up. Yeah, Dominic? Please, Dominic, get us up to 31. Please, bro. So more people could join us here on the channel, Dominic, please. And yeah, Dominic, I'm going to hit you up this upcoming week. Not this week, but next week. Let me know how your schedule is looking. Thank you so much for the hearts. Let me know how your schedule is looking. Cosizano says, how long you got left in your life? I'll be back in 10 minutes. I got about 14 minutes left, Cosplay. I got 14 minutes, man. If I'm not here by when you come back, I'll see you on Wednesday. It's all good, Cosplay. If you're busy, man, it's all good. It's the holidays, I understand. So I only got 15 minutes or so. But if you're not back, I'll see you on Wednesday, man. Dominic says, I shot 3 pages of my short horror film. Oh, damn, that's cool, bro. That is cool, bro. That's cool. Where have you been shooting at? With who have you been shooting, Dominic? Caleb says, have a crush on Jennifer Tilly, Sherry Moon Zombie, and Elvira. That's awesome. You got good crushes, man. Good crushes. Cosplay said, okay, bro, trying to make it back. Awesome, bro. All right, we got some Spider-Man. Remember, guys, we got some Spider-Man news. Dominic says, San Pedro with friends of mine. Awesome, bro. That's awesome, Dominic. That's awesome. Hell yeah. What are you guys shooting on? What kind of camera? Apareki says, I 100% would want to play Reagan in a remake with Exorcist. You gotta get writing, Frank. Yeah, I'll try my best, Apareki. I got so many projects right now. I'll try to squeeze some stuff in. All right, guys, we got Dominic says, I use my iPhone. Awesome, bro. Hell yeah. Awesome. Awesome, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right, we got some Spider-Man news, guys. We got some Spider-Man news. Right here, Variety.com is reporting. Spider-Man Brand New Day wraps filming. Director thanks Tom Holland for your generous leadership and relentless work ethic. That's a wrap on Spider-Man star Tom Holland for his latest outing as the web-slinging Marvel superhero. Spider-Man Brand New Day director Destin Daniel Cran announced Friday the filming has wrapped on the fourth of Holland's solo movies, thanking the star for his kind, generous leadership and off-screen for your relentless work ethic, your fearless performances, and your friendship. In Brand New Day, Holland returns as Peter Parker after the kid from Queens accidentally broke open the multiverse in 2021. No Way Home, and is forced to make a different decision to make the entire world, including his closest friend MJ and Ned, Zendaya, Jacob Batalon, forget his identity. The Sony Marvel movie also features Mark Ruffalo as original Avenger Bruce Banner, aka Hulk, John Brenthal, Frank Castle, The Punisher, servants, the standout Tremel Tillman, the Bears, Lisa Colin Zayas, Michael Mondo, Scorpion, Marvin Jones, Third, Tombstone, and Sadie Sink playing an undisclosed but much discussed role. I'm so deeply grateful for the people who walked with me through the biggest, most rewarding film I've ever been a part of. Cretan wrote on Instagram to our amazing cast for breathing so much life into these beloved characters and moving us every day. To our unbelievable crew who worked tirelessly and unmatched creatively craftsmanship, who made me laugh so hard, stomach nervous, stopped hurting. I loved you all so much and can't wait for the world to see your stunning work on the big screen. On a more personal note, Cretan also thanked his wife, fashion designer Nikki Chapman, for laughing through the insanity and carrying our entire family on your back, and his kids for forcing me to put my phone down and get out of my head long enough to build a fort in the living room with couch cushions. Brand New Day, which swings into theaters July 31st, and Creed's second MCU movie following 2021's Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings. He was previously set to direct the now scrapped Avengers, the Kang Dynasty, but departed the project in November 2023. Creedon is also the co-creator of the director of the upcoming Wonder Man series, the Disney Plus show starring Yeha Abdul Meetin II, begins streaming on January 27. The Brand New Day update comes as the first teaser for the next Avengers Doomsday debuted in theaters ahead of the Avatar Fire Dash. Okay, cool. So yeah, Brand New Day has wrapped filming. Spider-Man Brand New Day has wrapped filming. So that's it for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now they just got to get it edited and set it for theaters. And set it for the theaters. All right. So, hey, since we were talking about Exorcist news, since we were just talking about Exorcist news, Apple Ricky says, what would you use to make the bed shake and have my back flipping over without breaking my spine? The bed shake? Well, we could probably just have people or put the bed on top of a platform. We would put the bed on top of a platform and shake it to make the bed shake. And flipping over, I don't know. I would have to figure that out still. Apple Reiki, but since we were just talking about Exorcist, I got some Exorcist news right here for you. I got some Exorcist news, Apple Reiki. Critic Chris, I can't wait to see Scorpion. That's gonna be cool, right? I hope he looks like in the cartoon and the comics, bro. Critic Chris says, I'd like to see a proper Shocker costume on film. Oh, yeah, Shocker. Hey, did you guys ever get Shocker and Electro confused? Shocker and Electro were so similar, right? Shocker was the one with the yellow and had like the lines on his costume. And then Electro was the one with the mask, with the electricity mask. Yeah, but I always used to think Shocker and Electro were really similar. Caleb says, the last remake of Salem's Lot was cool. I haven't seen it. Wolf says, have you read Spider-Man comics? Of course. I have a box of Spider-Man comics. Boricki says, I can do my seizure that I can do on my bed. Yeah, that'll work. Dominic says, did you move a new place yet? Yes, I did. Dominic St. Clair, yes, I did move already. Dominic, let me know what next week is looking like for you. Dominic St. Clair, let me know what next week is looking like for you on Instagram so we can schedule a shoot. The next shoot. Critic Chris says, my first Spider-Man comic was with Vulture. My first one, I think, might have been, it has Shocker on it or something. I'm not too sure. I gotta look through my comics. Critic Chris says, Hydro Man was hinted by name in Far From Home. Hey, that'll be cool too. All right, guys. So yeah, since Apple Ricky was asking about the Exorcist, I got some Exorcist news. Wolf says, I would love to see your comic collection. I'll show it to you guys next time. Next time when I go live, I'll do another tour of my room. Next time when I go live, and I'll pull out the comic box, one of my comic boxes. All right, so yeah, worldofreal.com is reporting. Scarlet, listen up, Apple Ricky, I got some Exorcist news. Apple Ricky says, can we literally have Linda Blair play the mom in The Exorcist? I got some Exorcist news, Apple Ricky. OG Wicked Milk says, bet. Scarlett Johansson plays a rookie detective in Mike Flanagan's Exorcist Martyrs. Apple Ricky, did you hear? Scarlett Johansson will be playing a rookie detective in Mike Flanagan's The Exorcist Martyrs. Some tea about Mike Flanagan's upcoming Exorcist reboot, which we now know will star Scarlett Johansson. The film, which starts shooting February 23rd, is Blumhouse's attempt to put the franchises back on track. The current title, I can confirm via production listing, is The Exorcist Martyrs, and Johansson is set to play a small-town rookie detective who takes on a case involving inconceivable darkness. That's the synopsis that's internally circulating. The film seems to have a connection to the previous installments. It is a fresh new concept that Flanagan purposefully sought to distance from the franchise lore. Last year, Flanagan hopped on board to direct 2 Exorcist movies. Blumhouse initially set a March 2026 release for Flanagan's Exorcist, but the film was then quietly pulled from the schedule earlier this summer. There is currently no new release date set. Flanagan reportedly was given a total creative freedom on this next chapter of the franchise. Universal and Blumhouse are continuing on him to steady the Exorcist brand and push it back into fighting shape after the David Gordon Green directed disaster. If you recall, back in 2023, Green called it quits on the franchise and decided to sign on to a couple of indies instead. After the poor reception of his Exorcist Believer, there had been reporting that a creative overhaul would be done for the next 2 films. This after Green had expressed doubts about his future participation. Blumhouse owns Universal's 2 Exorcist movies. In their contract, the studio shelled out a $400 million investment for the rights to the franchise. Exorcist Believer was panned by both critics, 22% on our Rotten Tomatoes and audiences cinema score, and ended up on only grossing $136 million. The Exorcist franchise has grown to 6 films, with Flanagan's being number 7. While the series has had its highs and lows, the original 73 classic remains untouchable in the eyes of the most. The Exorcist 3 earned a dedicated cult following, but the rest of the sequels have largely been seen in a negative light. So yeah, there's a new Exorcist movie, and Scarlett Johansson will be playing a rookie detective in it. That sounds crazy, right? That sounds interesting. That sounds interesting, guys. Damn, my tablet's almost dying. Yeah, so that was it. Apple Ricky says yes. Yeah, so Scarlett Johansson will be playing a rookie detective in the new upcoming Exorcist Martyrs. Critic Chris says Scarlett is going to DC now for the Batman 2. I think yes, she is as well. She is going to DC now as well. She's just going everywhere because she's still pretty damn hot for her age. I think she's getting work still because she's still pretty attractive for her age, bro. She's like what 41, 42, but she still looks pretty like she's like in her like late 30s or something kind of. But yeah, that was it. Oh, you guys want to see my background that I had for this week? Check it out. I had the Stranger Things house. Today as my background. I had the Stranger Things house. That's awesome, right? That is awesome. Look, I started redesigning the room just how I had it back in my old house. You guys see that? I pretty much got my whole design back. I got my old layout back. Remember how this used to be in front of me in my old room? This little shelf thing right here with all my little action figures on it. And then I had my masks surrounding me, but now the masks are up here. Oh, look, got another Chucky right there. But yeah, guys, yeah. All right, guys, we got 2 more minutes. We got 2 more minutes left. Also got the Ghostface wall right here now. I think I got 2 Ghostface walls. Got another one over there. Then I got another one right here. But yeah, guys, we got 1 more minute, guys. We got 1 more minute. We got 1 more minute. If you guys got any questions, ask them now, because I won't be going live until Wednesday. So if you guys got any questions, ask them now. OG Wicked Milk says, hell yeah, it looks sick. Thank you so much, Wicked Milk. I appreciate that. Try my best to make it look awesome in here, bro. Klomnom says, have you ever messed up a rehaul? I've been there. Yes, yes. But I always find ways to save them. I always find ways to save my rehauls. You got to, you got to, you got to, you got to. Apareki says Clockwork Orange. The book is even more effed up. Yes, it is. Wolf says, retracted his message. All right. Thank you so much, Hollywood Horror Film Club, Ghostface and Michael Myers collectors, for joining me here today on the channel for another episode of Horror Sundays. Today was episode 59 here at Hollywood Horror Film Club. Like I always say, please smash the like and subscribe button. It really helps me out a lot in the algorithm. Smash the bell notification to be notified when I go live or upload new videos here on the channel. Hit the comments below. Share these videos with everyone you know so we can keep making more horror content here on the channel. Also, follow me on Instagram. Link down in the description of this live. And if you'd like to leave a donation to the channel, sometimes we run out of fake blood, props, and prosthetics for our fan films. Cash App link below. And if you can't leave a donation, just keep smashing the thumbs up button. Apareki says, so I guess Alex gets 10-year-old girl drunk and does... I don't want to say that here, Apareki. But yeah, that happens. Wolf says, it's cool to know that the next stream will be on Christmas Eve. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So take care, everyone. I'll see you guys on Wednesday, all right? I'll see y'all on Wednesday. Take care. Take care. Like I said, keep liking and subscribing, smashing the thumbs up, and all that good stuff. I'll see y'all on Wednesday for Horror Talk Wednesdays. See ya, cousin. Take care, Clown.